Okay, y'all. This one right here, you might get excited. So kick your feet up, get comfortable, get your pen and paper. I'm finna school you in. I'm at work, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. I gotta answer some of these emails and read some of these texts that these insurance texting me. But anyway, this is rental insurance. This is the rental insurance part 4. Yeah, part 4. Okay, this part 4. So, like I had stated before in the other video, it was 4 main sections in a policy, right? So now we on the third. So the third is loss of use, which is ALE. All right. So ALE, it pays you for temporary housing, right? Additional living expenses is what ALE stands for. That's the acronym for it. Okay. So if anybody ever say that, you know what it is. Okay. Basically, in the event that a rental unit becomes uninhabitable, okay, due to the covered loss, this policy provides coverage for the additional living expenses, right, by the insured, all right, including temporary housing and related costs subject to the policy limit, okay. So what they mean by that, temporary housing, it can be an Airbnb, it can be a hotel. It just depends. It really depends on your adjuster discretion, and then also their decision. Like I said, it could be subjective because uninhabitable is like a gray area, right? I have my ways of distinguishing if I'm going to extend that coverage for ALE to an insured. But it is a case by case basis, right? I take in consideration if water is running, if they can flush a toilet, at least one toilet, if also taking consideration what everybody's medical condition is. So I take, and it's just a case by case situation. If I'll extend ALE, right, in a rentals policy, right? It just depends. So you got to understand that's a gray area. It's really up to your claims adjuster. That's why you need to be nice to them folks. You need to be nice to me because they make those type of decisions, right? The other thing is there is, so related costs is what they're saying that they will cover in the policy. That means hypothetically, let's just say you balling, right? And I did have some claims like this in California when they had the fire claim. There were some people that had movie theaters in their houses, bowling alleys in their house, things like that, swimming pools. They had stuff like that in their house. There's people in Florida that have swimming pools too. So if they have to leave their house for temporary housing, then their day-to-day activities are being interrupted, right? They can't swim. They can't watch their movies, stuff like that. So the related costs would be I may extend costs for them a YMCA membership so they can go swimming like they usually do. They may swim every day. All right. Movie theater, they might watch a movie every day, right? And I'll extend tickets to AMC or membership too. I think they got some type of membership or whatever. I think I only did that like 3 times. So anyway, things like that. So that's because it's interrupted your day-to-day lifestyle, right? Lifestyle, right? If you ain't got that lifestyle, don't think you finna get it. Also, you got to take in consideration when we do temporary housing, do you have any pets? You need to communicate that with your adjuster so that they know when making those arrangements, do they need to include the dog or the parrot or the lizard or whatever you got, right? Some adjusters do full kitchen, some don't, because me personally, I do the full kitchen because if you got a full kitchen, that means you're going to cook, right? At that point, I don't have to go through all them receipts with you going out to eat because you got a full kitchen. So the only thing I really got to go through the receipts for is the food, right? And then some adjusters, they got a stick up there, you know what, and then they be like, you only can do we can only do a hotel with no kitchen. Like, it don't make sense to me, but anyway, that is what ALE. All right. If y'all have any questions, just put in the comments ALE for rentals insurance, and we'll go over that. All right.